Hello, hello, hello out there, everyone in Blog Talk Radio Land. It is another glorious Wednesday, and I'm hoping that all of you have your crumpets together because you know what time it is. It's time to dish tea, darling, and you're dishing tea with Big Meech. Thank you all for coming out. I sound a little somber because today's subject matter is kind of heavy on me. So don't let my voice fool you, honey. We're going to get into this, but I just want to get through all of my hellos and welcomes and just thanking you for being here, okay? For those of you who are tuning in, if you want to join in on the conversation, and I implore you to do so, please call in 347-205-9183. 347-205-9183 is the number to call in. Let me put my disclaimer out here now. This show is for mature audiences, and the language and subject matters may not be appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matter. Your listening discretion is advised. Again, your listening discretion is advised. Now, I don't make excuses for a potty mouth that I am. However, today I'm going to do my absolute best to curtail it because I want to hear from young adults today. I want to, so parents, we know we're into the Easter break and all of that from school. If you're listening and you have your children, particularly those who are in their teens, if they're listening to this, I encourage you to let them have their voice, because what we're talking about today is BULLICIDE, as it's being called, and that is where the students are being bullied at schools, in their neighborhoods, and a lot of times we're seeing in the news that this particular type of bullying have led our youngsters to committing suicide, and they're killing themselves because they can't handle what's being done to them. So I want to hear from your high schoolers, your junior high schoolers who are facing this on a day-to-day basis, because we need to hear where they are. We're not going to hold any punches. I want them to speak from their heart, and I don't want you to criticize or penalize them if they use swear words, okay? I'm going to leave it open because we need to have an open, honest, and raw discussion about this because their feelings are real, and we can't let that get swept under the carpet, okay? So I'm going to leave it there. They're going to respect you, I'm sure, if you're there. But I just want to have that open because I want to make sure that we hear our babies, okay? So before we get into the show, let me say thank you to all of my sponsors who believe in what dishing tea is all about. First off, Trade Day Management and PR firm. At Trade Day, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088. Again, 678-523-3088, or email her at tradedaypr@gmail.com. tradedaypr@gmail.com. Trade Day is spelled TREADAYPR @gmail.com. Thanks, Trey. Also, we have Pharaoh's Treasure Box, fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements. Creations by Taps. For all of your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 5179. Again, 248-688-5178 or 5179. Or you can email at Pharaoh's Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Once again, Pharaoh's Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Pharaoh's is spelled P-H-A-R-O-A-H. Okay, he's twisted the P-H-A-R-O-A-H, Treasure Box at Comcast.net. Thanks, Pharaohs. Also, Parisian Wine Productions, music to lighten your spirits and lift your souls, specializing in gospel or inspirational house and dance music tracks. For all of your Christian setting productions, if you're doing a Christian set and need a hot gospel track contact Paris Hairston. He's the CEO, and you can reach him at paris42268 at yahoo.com. Paris42268 at yahoo.com. C-Train Productions. You're aboard the right train for all of your entertainment needs with C-Train Productions. Omar Casterly, CEO and founder. For all of your casting, producing, and production needs, contact Omar at www.ctrainproductions.com. Once again, www.ctrainproductions.com. Thanks, Omar. Life Fellowship of Christ Ministries. Live in freedom everywhere. LIFE. Reverend James Coleman is the leader and founder of the Ecumenical Social Justice Ministry, brought forth to free the oppressed and introduce a fresh approach to the Christ consciousness. Contact Reverend Coleman at mustardcole@yahoo.com. Once again, mustardcole@yahoo.com. For information about services, please contact him at 313-833-9278. Again, 313-833-9278. All right. Thank you, Reverend Coleman. Also, Echam Vidal Couture. Enjoy high fashion with a luxurious twist. Step into the future with fresh, innovative couture. Designs by Miss Michi DeVale. For information or to get that fresh frock, contact Miss Michi at 313-996-9807. Again, that's 313-996-9807. Thanks, Miss Michi. Also, Big Brothers Network, the BBN, a new online web magazine designed to show the world the class and style of the debonair man of size and his admirers. Launching its first edition this Memorial Day weekend. For more information and for advertising rates and needs, contact Big Daddy Tony Brown at bigbrothersnetwork.com. Tony at Big Brothers, BIGBROTHS, network.com. Okay, thank you to all of my sponsors for your belief in dishing tea. I do have a special announcement. Pharaoh's Treasure Box is sponsoring and hosting, its annual 5 More Artists Detroit. And this is an evening of jazz, art, and theater. Saturday, June 5th, 2010, at the Samaritan Center, 555 Connor Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Tickets for this event are $15 in advance and will be $20 at the door. Portions of the proceeds will benefit the Uplifting Communities faith-based nonprofit organization. For more information, again, contact Peter Jackson of Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 5179. Yours truly will be in-house at that event, so come on out. You get to chat with me, and we get to reminisce and partake of an evening. And also, for every purchase that you make, remember portions of the proceeds are going to benefit the uplifted communities. And we'll have more information about that as the time draws near so that you really understand what uplifting communities is all about, okay? Now, let's get into this, because this here is heavy on my heart. And it's twofold, because we all know it's not easy growing up, okay? And y'all know I've made no secret in letting y'all know that I'm 40 years old, so times have changed considerably since when I was a child, okay? And I know during that time when I was being bullied because I was different and, being a gay man and really not understanding it at the time, I knew that I was different, so that caused me to be teased and picked on, and, I was fighting a lot and this, that, and the other. However, that was then. Bullying now has taken on such a new twist and a new turn to where our babies are even killing themselves because they can't handle it. There was one instance where the young man, he was 13 years old, and the bully told him, why don't you just go home and shoot yourself because nobody would care. And in his low self, the guy went and did just that. He killed himself, 13 years old. This was, 2 years ago. And so now his parents are rallying for better laws and better protections for all of these kinds of tragedies. Now, I feel like I'm stuttering because I have so much to say about it, and I'm in disgust as well, because for too long, you know, as a child, we've all been told, well, you got to learn how to take care of yourself. You got to learn how to muscle up and man up, and you don't let nobody do this. But when do we sit up and say, okay, look, I'm told to go tell the teachers when this person is bothering me. But now this generation has this whole thing about snitching to where even to go tell will cause problems. And I'm at my wit's end with it because this generation seems to have lost it. What do we do to our babies that our babies can't trust us to come to us and talk to us or come to us to say what's going on? And why do we still believe that violence is the answer? I remember when I was coming up and I was being teased, it was always, you know, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt. And that's a lie. Because the words are the most powerful effect on the kids. That's how they're killing themselves. That's why, because somebody said something and they can't get over it. And they're fighting and wrestling with it. And when it's the multitude of people saying these things, you know, if they keep saying this after time, one will start to believe that, well, it must be true because everybody is saying these things. So this whole thing about bullying, I want us to come together I want us to talk about it righteously. And what I mean by that is we need to talk about it for real. We can't sugarcoat it. We can't play with it or anything like that. And here's a question that I have for you, and I want somebody to ring in. What about the parents of those who are the bullies? Because in this day and age, you can't tell nobody nothing about their kids, okay? And on top of it, a lot of them are mimicking the behavior from their displaced parents or whatever the case may be. And they're being taught that only the strong will survive and all this other mess, okay, that means nothing to nobody. And so you have these bullies that have this invincible attitude. The kids now get guns faster than ever, you know. And so the bullies now have artillery, they have weaponry, they have their posse, their gangs. And our kids are becoming vulnerable and susceptible to all of that. So what do we do? Okay? What do we do? I'm having a problem with that. That's the biggest issue that I wanted to talk about today, but let me link this up with this particular story here. There's a story that hit the news a couple of weeks ago. As a matter of fact, it started on March 28th when this story hit. I'm going to read to you the news article that came up in the Trenton, New Jersey paper. I don't know the name of this paper, but because I'm getting off the internet. It's from the Associated Press. And this was written on the 3rd of April, okay? And I want to make sure, this is the New York Post, I'm sorry. I want to make sure that you understand what's going on, okay? Because the devastation of this bothers me. The article reads, 2 adults and 3 juveniles have been charged with gang raping a 7-year-old girl who was sold by her 15-year-old stepsister during a party at a crime-ridden apartment building, police said today. Details on the arrest were announced at a news conference tonight at police headquarters in Trenton, the state's capital city. The arresting people includes a 20-year-old man who had already been charged Friday with having sex with the 15-year-old girl. The other 4 are a 19-year-old Trenton man and boys ages 13, 14, and 17. Each was charged with aggravated sexual assault and child endangerment. The Trenton Police Director, Irving Bradley, and Mayor Doug Palmer announced the arrest of 5 individuals, including the girl's sister. Police said further arrests may be made in the case, which shocked residents of the gritty Rowan Towers apartment building. Authorities say the 7-year-old girl was offered for sale by her stepsister on March 28th. They say the stepsister went to a party with some men at Rowan Towers, and the younger girl tagged along because she was worried about her stepsister's safety. Police say the 15-year-old sold sex to the men, then took money to let them touch her younger sister. They say touching turned to forcible sex, as at least 7 men raped the 7-year-old. Before Saturday's arrest announcement, the 15-year-old had been charged with promoting prostitution, aggravated sexual assault, and other crimes. Police have not released her name. She remained in juvenile detention Saturday night. Now, Mayor Doug Palmer said he met with the victim's relatives at his office on Thursday to offer help and make sure they were able to move out of the neighborhood over safety concerns. Palmer met with the parents, the 7-year-old girl, and her 2 younger siblings. The woman is the mother of the 7-year-old girl, and the man she lives with is the father of the 15-year-old. The man and the woman have 2 toddlers together. Police earlier in the week were urging residents to come forward, but neighbors said they were scared of retaliation from gangs that prowl the streets if they spoke up. Really? Really? Do you believe such nonsense? It's bringing me to tears right now because I'm frustrated. I don't understand how do we get to this point? Your 15-year-old stepsister decides she's too hot and grown on her own recognizances. Okay? Go to a party. Now, we all have, I'm the firstborn, so I know what that means and know what that is when my little brother used to tag along with me. I hated it, but he did because he wanted to be like me in some regards. So we all know what that means, honey. No, we had to send you back, or we kicked and argued and fussed and fight and carried on. But she knew she was going up in there to do what she was going to do. Why would she sit up and put that little girl in harm's way like that? Why would she sit up there and charge men to touch her 7-year-old sister? Where did that mentality come from to where she thought it was okay to pimp out her little sister? Where did she get that from? There's a myriad of answers for that, a myriad of answers, because this generation is stuck on being freaks. It's okay to be a freak. It's okay to say you had umpteen men and this, that. This generation believes that. This is what they're dealing with. And not only that, see, this is where it gets compounded. Because for the 17, 19, and 20-year-old, even I'm saying them specifically, but even the 13-year-old knew better. But the 17, 19, and 20-year-old, they knew that that was a child. I don't care how developed she was, they knew that that little baby was a baby. Why? Why? And then what said that they had to force their way onto that little girl? What said that they had to pay the sister for that little baby? I'm not understanding that. I don't care how freaky or whatever the society claim we supposed to be. how sexually mature we have become, that there has no, it makes no sense, and I'm so frustrated right now. I'm stammering. Somebody call and tell me what's going on. Somebody has a voice besides mine that has to be outraged about this, because it makes no damn sense. It makes no damn sense. Why would you do that? I got a call. I'm going out here. 313-258. 313-258. Hey, how you doing, baby?
I am all right. I am outraged too. But when I chimed in, I was getting off on the parents being the ones that trendset the bullying. But as parents, sometimes they use that as a shield, and then not getting down to the bottom line if the children are going through the same thing that they went through. Being overweight myself, dealing with people, using it as a shield in order to get by, not knowing that it was going to affect somebody else. I'm touched because you were talking about the girl that told her sister. I don't care how much hate you have when it's a mixed family. You should never hurt a child. And those men who hurt that child, I don't care if they pay money or whatever, it don't even attempt to get off into what guilt that they gonna have for the rest of their life. That is horrible. Oh my God. I have to get off this phone because I'm crying and I don't know how to express it anymore. Thank you. Bye.
All right, baby. Yeah. See, that is what I'm talking about. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. It's what do we do? What do we need to do? Okay, what do we need to do? How can we correct the problem? Okay, or can it be corrected is the key. You know, I know that there are times and there are other areas where you know, problems may seem to be too big or maybe overwhelming or maybe, you know, it may seem as though there's no way out. But here, there has to be some kind of way that we can address this issue. As I was doing my research on this, I found if you go to YouTube, there's a whole series of videotapes up here of people expressing themselves about bullicide, how parents have lost their children, you know, because of the bullies. And I still need to hear, what are we going to do about the bully themselves? Okay, because in a lot of instances, the bully is the one who gets all of the recourse, if you will. They're the ones who have to, you know, who we coddle and run to as always saying, okay, they're misunderstood. They're the ones who are taken up under everyone's wing and, oh, we must do something with them. And we don't hear nothing about the parents. You know, the parents of these folks they're sitting up there raising all this hell everywhere. We don't hear about what repercussions that the bully himself must face for such turmoil. We don't hear about all that. What do we do now? These babies done kill themselves. Down here in Atlanta, just last year, we had two little babies. Two babies killed themselves. It was a African American, and the other was Latino, who killed themselves because the people at the school were calling them gay and fag and this and that. And they had no recourse from the teachers. They would go to the teachers and say, okay, this is what's going on. They didn't get help from there. They didn't tell their parents because the parents were not at home or they were working, and they became a recluse. So they came and they stayed inward and did not tell their parents, because what do we tell our kids when we send them to school? We tell them they got to go to school, they don't get in no trouble, and make sure they bring home good grades. And we always tell them, if somebody bothers you, make sure you tell the teacher. Well, I done told the teacher. Okay? I done said it, and the teacher ain't doing nothing. Now, see, my mother would attest to this, because when I got tired, damn it, I handled it myself. Because I felt my teachers were stupid anyway. So my mouth did, well, between my mother and me, it got me in a lot of trouble. But at the same time, after so long, I'm only going to say so much. And when I saw that I wasn't getting any satisfaction, then it became time for me to take care of anything. And then it became a problem, because now, oh, I shouldn't have, or oh, you shouldn't have. Well, you didn't stop this when I told you what was going on. Look at what's going on, people. Our schools have now become crime-ridden institutions. The Columbine incident was an act of a student who was bullied and got fed up, and he took the gun and just said, I'm going to kill up everybody. What was the other school thing when they just did the shoot up at the school? Oh, I can't think of it. But all of these instances, okay, that go around and that continue to play and this, that, and the other, all of these particular instances are results of bullying, are results of people going too far. They can't take it no more. So what did you have to say? Okay, I got another one. 313-258. 313-258. Now, coming back. Okay. Do I got you? Wait a minute.
I'm here.
There we go.
Yeah. This is the mother of the child that couldn't take no more. She started crying. I want to say your mother.
Hi, Mama.
What I'm saying is, I volunteer in the public school system, and a lot of this is a result of it's okay. You take them to the office and you call the parent. When the parent gets involved, it's all right. He, like you said, he just got a bad day. No, anybody got no bad days that many times. But it's so nonchalant now that when it happened in the classroom, the teacher turned her back. Well, I'm saying her because in Detroit it's mostly women. And they turned their back because they don't want to get involved because these kids is bigger than them and they're going to hit them. And according to the rules, you're not supposed to hit a child. So I refuse to get on the payroll because I'm going to hit a child. And I told them, they're going to respect me.
Right.
You can't walk into a classroom and everybody all over the place and the teacher saying, sit down, how they going to learn? No. Grab a pattern like they used to do when I was in school. Wear somebody's hands out. You ain't got to hit them on their butt or nothing like that. Wear their hands out where they're going to sit down, shut up, and respect what you're saying. But all the rights have been taken away from them because of parents who use this as institution for babysitting. They don't care what their kids do all day long until you expel them and put them back in their hands. Then they got everything to say when they come up to the school about how wrong we are. And that's,
but Mama,
yes, sir. Yes.
But Mama, wait a minute, because see, here's the thing now see, like I was telling the folks, see, when I was a kid, and you and we've had these bouts about my mouth, but I got tired of dealing with teachers who would not see it my way. You know, if I sit up there and I done told you that these folks are bothering me, and okay, now that I'm not tired now, you know, they bother me, they won't leave me alone. What is going on with the teachers now? Because you've been volunteering in the school system for a little minute, but what is happening with the teachers? Are the teachers too busy trying to be friends? But I can see that on the high school level. But what about junior high? I don't see teachers wanting to be friends with kids.
No,
so how come the teachers ain't stepping up to the plate?
Because it ain't the kids they got to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they got to walk out to their car. We don't have security and stuff like that. These parents are crazy. You can't mess with little Johnny, because that's my child. You don't put your hands on my child. You don't say nothing to my child. Let me handle it. But you ain't handling it, Mama. But you going to come up here and tell us what we can't do. The child hear that, so what are you going to keep doing? Acting a fool. Because now, the mama that intimidated the teacher, she don't want a lawsuit. But me, I don't care. Take me to court. Because I don't beat your child.
Right.
I don't tell you I'm beating your child. That's why I'm not on the payroll, so DPS won't be getting sued. If they come after somebody, they're going to come after me. And I done did this since y'all was in school. Now my grandkids is in school, and so that's some years. And ain't nobody took me to court yet, so obviously it works. More parents need to stand up for what's right and stop letting everything go on. My daughter going to the school because children fighting her child. She's trying to have a meet with the other child parent. They don't even come. So not the hell out the child, then the parent will be there. That's what I said. Not the hell out the child, then the parent will be up there talking about why you. Now we can conversate. Then this ain't got nothing to do with DPS.
See?
This ain't got nothing to do with DPS.
I see why I get it.
Let's say I said you because they're not gonna come. If you send them a note say he was involved in a fight or he stole money out of a teacher's purse, they're not coming up there. Hit the child, pinch him in the back of his leg when he fall down. You know. Well, I have to show y'all that, but pinch him.
But
the first thing they're gonna do is run home and tell their mama, Miss Taylor, you pinch me. You know what she doing? Putting her hands on my child because you didn't come up here for the meeting. Now I got you here.
Right.
If it's nothing positive about their child, they ain't coming. That's why you have plays and you put the baddest kids in them. Because once you get the parents up there, then you can talk to them.
Okay, but okay. Now here we go.
Yes,
now
sir.
Because you're in the school system, and it's that. I don't know. Are we preaching to the choir most of the time because the parent of the bully don't come up there?
Exactly.
Because it feels like a lot of times we're just wasting our time.
Exactly.
Because the person who we need to get to don't show up.
Yeah. You see, you can't do the same thing the same way and expect different results. That's why the volunteers. That's why the volunteers have to do stuff a little bit different. We volunteer. So they can't call downtown to the board management because they can't say nothing to us. The only way they can say anything is to come up here. You got something to say to me, you got to come up here because you don't know where I live, you don't know what time of day I'm up here, and plus you don't know who I'm with and what I got. So you don't come up here with fish because you're dealing with a person that's just like you, not on the payroll. You cut a fool with me, I'm going to cut a fool with you because I ain't have to worry about nobody coming down here or going downtown talking about Miss so-and-so in classroom, this and that. You cursing me out. I don't have no job to lose, baby.
Okay. Now you on point right there.
They scared. These teachers, they can't say nothing because the first thing they're going to do is have mama, auntie, cousin, fix them folks. Want to know what you did to my so-and-so. Right.
And then
when the daddies come in, They pass down to their knees. So what you gonna say? It's a moral behavior.
But how do we get to those kids who see? It was a little, like I said, it was different with me because I guess I had telltale signs when stuff was bothering me. But these kids now, they bottle so much up. You know, and then, wait, because see, another thing about this bullying is that it's not just face-to-face. Because now that we're into this cyber world, everything is done on the internet. So, you know, they got pictures. You know, the bullies, in fact, they done made a joke out of it now to where up on YouTube, the bullies will jump on the girl or the guys will jump on the boy, and they film it to put it up on YouTube to get the laugh, to see how many hits it's going to get, to see this and to see. What do we do with those who end up holding all that in so that it doesn't become this Columbine-like shootout or whatever, or crime thing? What? I'm with trying to phrase the question. What needs to be done?
Okay, first of all, like you talking about all these kids with all these phones and do all of this stuff. No, sir. No, sir. They need a phone for emergency. Call home. They don't need to be taking pictures, putting stuff up on no YouTube. Why would you? See, this is where we backwards in our mentality as parents. You will go and buy a child at 3 years old a motorized car that they don't even know how to steer, run up into stuff, which you would pay $300 to $500, depending on what kind, Barbie or whoever, instead of buying them educational material. That's more important to you for them to look cool. You go out here and buy them 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old girls shoes with heels on them, dresses with off the shoulder, belly button showing, and that's cute to you. And then we want to know why other countries excel more than we do, because they don't teach foolishness to their kids. So now everything is funny. So I got a cell phone that's gonna take a moving picture, which you done spent $300-400 for.
Right.
Because they want it. No, no, and no. I don't reward bad behavior. You bringing me CDs home in this house, you will see your way to the phone booth, and Demetrius, you know that.
Yes,
if you got to talk that bad, you will go to the phone booth. I'm not rewarding bad behavior. I'm not giving you nothing. You have any emergency? Yeah. Hey, you have to call. You have to get somebody's phone. Go to the phone booth. Dial 911 because you lost that privilege. You know.
Right.
They give them. They got these kids have phones. Now I'm not child work, and they paying for it, and they have a right to have it. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't work for that. Because that's what we teach them as being productive citizens, is to go out there and work for what they want, save their money, and buy it. So if they can save up $400-500 to get them one of them phones, fine. I'm not giving you a phone because you don't went to school every day and brought me some C's home on your report card. No, they don't work.
Right.
So all this stuff privy to them. Oh, he wanted this, or she wanted to have this phone. No, all she needs is a phone in her purse, or something happens she can call you. Not no phone in her purse to start mess.
Right.
You know, they start mess. They start mess. Keep stuff going the whole summer long. Don't even see each other. Don't even be in school with each other. Keep stuff going all summer long. Then the people want to know, why do you have so many phones to pay for school? Because all summer long they don't keep that mess. Because they got a phone. Because they on the internet. You know?
Right.
Shut the internet down. You ain't using it no way. Ain't no parent using it no way. Shut it down. They got the camera too.
Right.
Be happy with that. Now you keep on bringing me these C's and D's. I'm cutting that out too. I'm at work. I don't watch TV. What is this? trying to make everything comfortable for them, send them to their room. You got everything in their room, so how you punishing them? So they can light you up on YouTube or with all this slang they use, talking about somebody getting on their nerve and this, that, and the third. Look here. It's our fault. It's our fault because we give it to them. And like you say, preaching to the choir, hey, if they don't get the boys that's doing all this, whatever they doing, grab them up. Get a baseball team. Get about which young man you know in this day and age don't like football, basketball, or baseball. Get them on a team. Let them burn their energy up that way. See, they play against each other out here in the street because they ain't got nowhere to play. Get them off the street. Give them something to do.
Right.
So, I'm going to get off now because somebody else want to get on, but that's mother wisdom. What they want to do with it, I don't know. Bye, me.
All right, Mama, I love you. Thank you. Oh, that's my mama, y'all. Now y'all see where I get it from. Okay. Let me go here. Here's another one. 313-258 coming up right here.
Hello?
Caller, you're on the air.
Yes.
Hey.
Hello? Yeah, this is
yeah, you talking to me. You on the air. Go ahead.
I'm a teenager, so I'm gonna say bullies bully people because bullies they don't know nothing, so they don't wanna seem like they don't want everybody picking on them because they don't know the work and stuff, so they bully people to make them try to make everybody laugh and stuff like that.
Oh, really? So this is a defense mechanism, you think?
Yeah, so, and then some people, they bully people, but the people that's getting bullied, they not standing up for themselves. Because sometimes the only reason bullies do stuff to people because people, they, run away or they, put their head down and stuff, but the people that's getting bullied, they put up their head and let them know, you're not just going to bully me. I'm going to show you that you're just not going to bully me.
Well, do you think that those who are afraid to stand up for themselves, they don't want they scared to get beat up, or what? Because I know when I was a kid, because I was right about a little younger than what you sound. Now I know who this is. So when I was younger, just about younger than you, the whole thing was, we were scared to get beat up because then that means we were going to get talked about because you got your butt whooped. And so we wouldn't let the bully. We didn't want to come into confrontation with the bully because we didn't want to get talked about. So do you think that's still the same thing now?
It's like that. People scared, but a bully, they bully people, but most of them, they don't try to fight you. They're just trying to make you intimidated. So when you prove to them you're not scared, they don't try to fight you. They leave you alone, and maybe you might end up their best friend.
But what about the bully that got 1,500 folks in his posse?
Then, people, they should get in, the people that's a bully should get in the program to, let them be a leader, because if he got that many people, that means they just following because they not smart, they don't know what to do, so they see somebody that think that's going to be their lead to success, so they just follow.
So you think, okay, so that's an interesting spin on it. So a bully has leadership qualities, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, so should that be something that you think people should work on as far as coming up with the solution, looking at the leadership qualities of the bully and then turning it into something positive?
Yeah. Because, most people, like I said, most people come bullies because they don't understand the work, so they try to do stuff to make it seem funny and stuff. But because the teachers really don't care about the students. They just care about getting their money because they stressed out all the time. Like, I can sit down in my chair all day and I still get paid without actually teaching me. It's just stupid.
Now that's a point. That is a good point. Now, what about, okay, now, how have you been have you been bullied before?
No, because, like me, I don't let people bully me. Like, as soon as I see a sign of it, I just let them know, like, you's not going to do nothing. So if they try to get in my face, of course I will react back. So they don't bully me. They just leave me alone because they know they can't bully me because I'm going to defend myself.
All right. All right. Well, what would be your advice to folks in your age and stuff, and some of your friends, or folks who are not necessarily friends but schoolmates that are going through that kind of stuff? What would you say to them?
First, I would tell them like to try to tell, but if their parents and stuff don't have time, then they should just I know you might be scared, but at least show them. So to them, they think you're not scared, even though you probably terrified in your mind. But you gotta let them. You gotta stand up and release some power to let them know. Like, step back.
All right. So basically, a lot of the folks just need to learn how to stand up for themselves. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and they need to go to like a counselor or something to give them self-esteem, give them some good self-esteem, so they will feel good about themselves, so they'll be able to let the bullies know, back off.
All right. Okay, they need self-esteem. Well, wait a minute. Because I know we're saying that that's what they need. But for a lot of folks who don't understand self-esteem, and a lot of folks who don't understand how to enforce that, what do you think should happen from adults? What can adults do to help youngsters in that area? Because some kids don't know, what to do.
I think adults should just stop worrying about themselves, because they say kids are the new future, so they need to stop worrying about themselves, stop worrying about all this, like just getting paid. They should actually try to help kids so they will feel good about themselves, so they wouldn't have problems.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. See, I needed the start of that. I needed to hear young folks talking, because y'all deal with that every day. You're in these classes. You're on the streets. You got friends that want to carry guns, and the pressures and the this, that, and the other. See, back when I was a kid, we all called it peer pressure. It wasn't so much as bullying back then, although we did use the term. But a lot of it, we always said it was peer pressure. Just your peers pressuring you and want you to do this and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But now it has become a whole big old thing. And I'm just upset about it. Now, before I let you go, let me ask you something very, very serious. And that's about the other story with the 15-year-old girl and her 7-year-old sister. Mm-hmm. What is going on in the school system now as far as what you notice with young folks your age wanting to experiment sexually?
I think they reflect off their parents. Like, if they see their parents, if they just see their parents just stressed that all over the house, I mean, that's what they gonna want to do, because it's in their surroundings, so they just pick it up.
Just pick it up. Like a piece of paper off the floor.
Yep.
Wow. That's a lot said. You just floored me with that. It's so simple, it's complex, but that is so profound. Wow. All right, I'm gonna let you go now. Thank you for calling in. All right. Whew. Yeah, that's so simple, it's complex. Wow. They just pick it up. They just pick it up. Wow. 404-587. I'm coming to you right now. 404-587. Welcome to Dishing Tea. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, you got it.
Yeah, I want to talk about this show topic.
Yes, go right ahead. You're on the air.
Okay. Yeah, what I've noticed is that our parents make their kids feel good about nothing almost, and then they forget that they gotta go interact in the real world. You know,
Ooh.
and when they do that, I mean, like for example, like I was telling somebody the other day, is that I've noticed that we don't teach our kids to grow up. We teach them to grow backwards.
Wow, say that. We don't teach them to grow up. We teach them to grow backwards. Explain that point. I like that.
Because it's like what we do is we teach our kids to be like an additional toy for adults, so that we won't be lonely when we grow old, or we won't be lonely when we die. And I've always asked parents, well, what are you going to do after you pass? What's going to happen to your kid? Because, you know, the kid already has, like, a jacked up self-esteem. It doesn't have any sense of being. It's not taught to be productive. So what will it do?
Wow.
And another thing I noticed is everybody's blaming the teachers. But here's the problem I see with teachers. First of all, we've taken away their pay, and we've taken away their power. So how are they supposed to raise our kids? Now, of course, if you do that to a teacher, of course they're supposed to just sit down and just make money. Cause that's all they got, the little money they got. Because they can't deal with the bully because the parents going to come up there and fight. And we, like for example, in Atlanta, we just had two situations where the teachers where parents have come and jumped on the teachers in the classroom, and they didn't even get no jail time.
Yeah, we sure did. Yes, we sure did.
And it was so bad they had a public outcry for the parent. Do you know how embarrassing that is to get beat up in front of some kids, and you're supposed to be in charge of them?
And lose all your respect. Mm-hmm.
Right. Some of these things I think that parents just need to teach their kids, and I hate to say it, but it's got to toughen up. Because even for example, I think I might have posted on my Facebook one time that the Army itself is not trying to find a new way to deal with the softer generation. That's what they call it now, the softer generation. It's like nobody wants to be an adult no more.
But see, here it is. Is that the dichotomy? Because if this is considered to be the softer generation, a lot of the kids are so busy wanting to be hard and trying to prove they got street credibility and trying to prove they ain't this and they ain't that, to where they end up fortifying this bully-like status, and it has gone so far over the top to where now it seems to be it's out of control. So do you think that's the dichotomy of it?
Yeah, I actually believe that. Because I know, like, when I watch these kids, like, downtown, a lot of them, and like, for example, I work in clubs. A lot of these kids are weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, they're not, and really, they're not even, like, I remember when we used to have bullies that were fighting bullies. They're not fighting.
Right.
The girls might fight,
right.
You know, but the guys, they're not fighters. They're just scared. Matter of fact, they don't even look you in the face when they talk to you.
Right.
You know, I think that just simply comes from lack of communication. You know, because remember back in the day, there were men that would keep you in check. You always had that neighborhood uncle.
Right. Yes,
and even with parents now, they usually grandma used to keep you in check. I remember one time I tell people about this, and it's funny. There used to be anybody from the Bankhead, if you remember, came on Bankhead. I used to go down there and color food, and my mama couldn't do nothing with me. My grandma politely took me off the back and whooped my ass. When I came back inside, I looked at the sky and said, "It's gonna rain." We don't have that grandma now. Now grandma in the club with everybody else. I remember I was working in the club one time.
Okay, don't you get me started. Don't you get me started on that.
I was working in the club one night. The grandmother came in there, the daughter in there, and the grandbaby in there. Because she just turned 18. Now, she wasn't 18, she wasn't old enough to get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no boundaries. There's no, okay, I'm the adult, I need to set the example. Now everybody wants to be young, and I'm trying to figure out what's the big idea of being young now. Young folks ain't even productive. So I'm trying to figure out, and this is another scary thing, what are we going to do in the next couple of years when the rest of the world is advancing over us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like when I go to the hospital, you know, like I remember back when we were young, like, cause I'm 35. I remember when we were in school, we wanted to be doctors, we wanted to be lawyers, we wanted to do things and mean something to the world. Now these kids, if they ain't trapping, they want to strip. And if they can't do neither one, then
has done sprung up all across the United Nations.
Now, to me, that's so crazy. I'm like, I don't even understand. And what's funny about it is listening to women try to explain it. I'm like, hold on, how you don't like strippers, but you take pole dancing classes?
Yeah, so much to where, to listen at the culture. Pole dance is so much to where they're fighting to make it an Olympic sport now.
I mean, but who's going to win? I mean, who gets the most tips?
I mean, see, that's the thing. So now, see, here it is. Does now, see, again, when we let something into the culture, it then starts to take on its own definition and subcategories now. Because, see, bullying now, like I said earlier, is on the internet. You know, it's cyber world bullying. Because folks sit up there and they get on the internet and it goes out so quickly, it's ridiculous. Well, now, because you're trying to be Hoochie Mama Central, you want to be pole dancer specialist, you want to be Pimp Mac Daddy, you know, cool, and this, that, and the other. Now it has subcategories to where folks are breaking down and saying, okay, you know, since I can't get you here, then we're going to talk about you here, or we're going to do this. And it just becomes so overwhelming to where I think it's become compartmentalized. And that one facet of someone's life then ends up becoming, you know, the catalyst for the life to start to implode. Is it fair? I know when we
But
were
you know what? I don't mean to cut you off.
But, go ahead.
You know what? Do you remember back in the day when you used to come home and you say, well, you used to go to your grandma used to tell you, your grandma was the one that actually made you tough. Somebody talked about me. She's like, well, baby, you know what? People going to talk about you. That don't mean you got an answer to it. And you had to eventually start getting you some self-esteem about yourself. And this is what I notice now. Like, for example, when you read people's Facebook, what they always talking about? Somebody hating on me.
Right.
Can't nobody say your breath goes. So can't nobody say your breath stink. You see what I'm getting at? So where do we draw the line in that? It's people in general. For example, I want to be an astronaut, but I ain't never been in no spaceship. And somebody say, well, hey man, you ain't never had no astronaut training. I can't run around and write on my Facebook, man, people hating on me. There's some things you can't do. You gotta find in this world what you're good at. And that's one thing that we're not teaching kids. Even now, even now we're teaching our kids. We're taking away music from kids.
Right. Which has a lot of foundations and a lot of everything. Wait a minute, hold on. Somebody in the chat room wrote. Wait a minute, hold on. Somebody in the chat in the tea room, he says, Meech, we haven't seen anything yet. I've come to the conclusion that human nature is unpredictable. Therefore, we should brace ourselves for another outrageous, incomprehensible incident that will make the one in Trenton, New Jersey look quite tame.
You know what else I wish they would do? Start telling folks stuff is stupid.
You know, here's the thing, because we have allowed for non-parents to write books to tell you how to raise your damn kids. Folks have been following these folks and these little gurus who have nothing idea about how to raise decent children.
All they got kids and the kids be on drugs.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then you trying to and tell somebody else, Lord. Go ahead.
I remember growing up, a friend of mine he wrote a book, and people just come to him about raising kids. But his son was the one to get us in trouble. He used to bring liquor to us and take us, and sometimes would take us to titty bars.
I think he recently got caught for like child molestation.
Are you
serious?
Yeah. Well, okay, now, see, here's another dynamic of that. Because running to the church, the preacher's kids have always been the worst kids in the church. The preacher's kids, they have always been the worst kids in the church. So, and were the ones who usually were the bullies. Because they had carte blanche. And of course, it was always, you are the reverend's child, and there was no severe consequences. They got a talking to, but there wasn't no real consequence or nothing. And if the reverend too busy trying to at least at the church, I don't know what goes on at the house, but at the church, the reverend being the reverend with everybody, so, not understanding what the hell is going on, but it just, they have the reverend's kids was always the worst kids of the bunch, and were always the ones that have become the bullies. So is it safe to say or to deduce and assume that a lot of bullies and stuff come from people who have power and prestige, or who seem to have some kind of carte blanche over anything? Or have we just got into a throwaway society? Because a lot of nowadays bullies, just like my nephew was saying, bullies are coming from a point where the parents are not home. So you can't get a hold to my mom and my daddy. Well, the daddy ain't there most of the time. And for the single fathers out there who have bullies, the single father being that he got to go and take care of this and take care of that, not being able to be there at home with the child. Is that the contributing factor, or is it the sole factor?
I believe that's contributing. Because because nowadays if there is a bully, not to say it's just simply a kid that just simply thought something and just simply carried it out. Like I said before, there's no that stupid no more. I remember growing up, my dad, if he seen something that didn't make no sense, he just tell me that's stupid. And a lot of times I had to go rethink it. Even today, and I think this is the craziest thing. Do you know the 9/11 terrorists? We have never talked bad about them. The only people that ever called them cowards were the British on television. And we want to psychoanalyze everything. Like, for example, the Virginia, I think it was the Virginia Tech shooting.
That's the other one I was thinking about, yeah.
You got all these people that psychoanalyze this guy, but no one's never called him a coward. No one ever said, dude, that was stupid. Now to me...
Now, you are right.
Now, to me, if you're somebody that wants to make a statement and be revenged, especially when you don't have a voice, that's how you get through. That's how you get through. As a matter of fact, Marilyn Manson said that. Because they asked him about the Columbine thing. He said, they asked him what Bill, I think it was O'Reilly. As a matter of fact, you can look it up on YouTube. O'Reilly asked him, what would you do? He said, I would talk to him, because that's what they wanted. Now they wanted a voice, but now, because they've done something drastic, now they got a voice. And they shouldn't get that far.
Exactly.
That's why I said before, people, we need adults to start checking children. We don't have that no more. Because if your mom and dad weren't at home, there was always an uncle in the neighborhood. There was always an older children in the neighborhood that would tell that young kid, hey, look, you can't do that.
That's right. That's right.
Even I myself, I'm 35. And you know how many play dads I have? and I still get them.
Listen, okay, I'm 40 and got umpteen of them on the job even, because I got, folks are still putting me in check, and because I call myself a universal mother and father and carrying on to a lot of different folks that I have put up under my wing, and even now, well, y'all heard my mother on the phone, so y'all see where I get it from. No, we don't play that. We do not. Oh, God help us. I don't play that. I do not play that. And it's sad because then there are times where I have to pick and choose my battles, because there are moments where me saying anything is not going to change the parent's idea, and the parent going to still let the child do what they're going to do anyway. And so I have to take myself out the situation, because ain't no need to me getting high blood pressure problems and stuff when you sitting there and going to let the child act a fool and carry on, because if I put my hands on, then I got to deal with you and you watching them cut up. See, that there I have a problem with. L. Kimberly Smith in the tea room, she says, I think it is a contributing factor that parents are never home. There's so many factors, unfortunately, why these kids are so confused. Mm-hmm.
Also, another thing I think is that parents got to stop being their kids' friends.
Yeah, of course.
Because to me, parents should be friendly, but they can't be your friend, because your friends are people who you do stupid stuff with.
Hello? That's your hangout partner, your road dog that keep all your secrets.
Right, so your friend always the one that always to go say, hey, man, come on, let's do it. Man, mama don't let me do that. Well, she ain't here. Okay. And then you get in trouble, and then you got to call your parent. But what do you do now when you in trouble and your parents are with you?
Right. Okay. And see, then there's no fear factor there. Kids, just, and fear factor as a means of respect, for their parents. Kids don't respect their parents anymore because, listen, child, I did this show, and I'm holding back from using my file link because I know my mama listening, and my nieces and nephews done called in, and I'm purposely choosing my words, okay, because I know I respect my mother enough to where I don't cuss like that around her, okay, and you talking about to cuss at her, the way these kids do nowadays to cuss at her.
I'm grown, I don't do that.
I value my life. Listen to me very carefully. I learned that so long ago. It was ridiculous. She walked up on me. I was cussing at somebody else, and she walked up on me and repeated everything that I said, and it scared the hell out of me because I did not know that she heard me. And she looked at me and said, you got one time to let another of them words come out your mouth at me. And it was a look, and I was done. I was done. Okay? No. And so a lot of that, there's no such thing as a parent being scared of their child for me. Okay? I have no concept of that BS to begin with. And so for you to be afraid of your child, and then this little bastard grows up and then go terrorizing schools, terrorizing neighborhoods, and think he has all this carte blanche to do X, Y, and Z. See, that there is part of the problem. Part of the problem. Let's see, Kimberly says, and many times they are gonna argue with you for reprimanding their badass kids. Of course they do. Of course they do, Kim. Yeah. They do all the time. Let's see, over here in Facebook, Shandy Stewart says, and this is in response to your posting, Hodge. I don't blame teachers. I say they have a part in it. Schools should be safe because regardless of how underpaid you are, and I agree that they are, you still have a duty to those children while they are in your charge. I am the daughter of educators and the sister of two young educators, so I know what teachers go through. yes, we as parents have a responsibility. I think we do have to validate our kids at home and let them know how great they are, so when they run up against ignorance like bullies, they feel empowered and have self-esteem not to stoop to a bully's ignorance.
But now I see, I understand where she's coming from, but if it's just like how we do with the police. We want the police to police everybody but us. And if everybody has that same logic, then the police can't do their job. That's the same thing with teachers. Do you remember back in the day
right.
when your teacher was telling on you, and you would try to say that your teacher was a lie, and your parents would say, are you saying the teacher lying? You wouldn't say it because you had respect. Now your parent comes up there and will tell your teacher, don't be lying on my son. My son ain't never do nothing. But here is your son out there in the backyard cutting up in front of everybody.
I got hit in the mouth for that one.
Woo!
Yeah, that was one. That was.
And that's what kills me about that.
Yeah, I got.
They want these teachers to do all this stuff, but then at the same time, they don't back the teachers up. Like I remember one time my little sister was doing something, and she tried to tell my parents that the teacher was lying. I'm standing in the room. I said, hold up. That teacher's already getting paid. She don't get extra money for lying on a child. They ain't even doing nothing. You see what I'm getting at?
Okay.
What bonus she gets for lying on you? What are you doing? Well, show me where if anything, you know what? If she really wants to get by, she passion, and that's what a lot of teachers are doing now. They just passing these kids because they know they ain't gonna do nothing in life. There used to be a time where I was, oh God, I was so thankful for some of the teachers I had, but they would take up time with you. Then I had it before, like teachers started dating students and stuff. This was during the time when teachers when they took up time with you, they were tutoring you. And some of them, like for example, if you went to Doug High School, Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray, he's teaching you stuff on the streets. You know how to be a businessman and stuff.
Exactly. And because they had to find unconventional ways of doing that. Mama just said that.
Right.
You know, it's time out for doing the same stuff because it's not working. We need to get the kids' attention. Now, just like her, okay, as far as being up on it, please. Now, you know, like she said, honey, if you volunteer, there's no fear getting fired. You know, because please, I'm volunteering my time, honey. I'm not on nobody's payroll, so your little huffing and puffing means nothing to me.
Shoot.
Okay.
Also, a lot of kids don't have self-awareness. To me, that's a class they need to start teaching. Like, for example, do you remember at Tri-City High School when they fired that teacher for teaching too much black history?
Yeah.
Now, but here's the crazy part about it. The school was majority black. And then the only thing he was doing was throughout the year was just, instead of like keeping Black History Month to February where the grades don't count, he just simply throughout the year would remind kids, okay, listen, black people have invented this, black people have invented that. And guess what he did? He lowered the dropout rate.
Exactly.
But that old dirty principal up there, I forgot her name, fired him. Now, to me, I'm like, okay, when kids got self-awareness, guess what? You have less of that acting out. You have less of these bullies. Ooh. Because
they get to find out and hear where their place is. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because they could actually see that they, too, are part of the equation. Here's something somebody else wrote. Exactly. Somebody wrote this on one of my Facebook postings today because I was telling him about the show. He says, and this is Jonathan Parrish, he says, it's sad that it takes the death of a child to wake us up and realize that our kids are in trouble or troubled individuals. I was bullied as a child, so I understand full well how it feels to be the targeted one of the bunch. It's not the child's fault that they are being picked on. In most cases, it's more of not wanting to be a part of the crowd that makes them a target. No, it's not right, but I'm speaking from my own experience here. I was never part of any cool group of kids. They always seem to be they always seem to be the ones in trouble. In some cases, it's jealousy, envy, or maybe they actually like you but are too ignorant to say so. I was picked on because I was smart, got good grades, did what I was told, got to do cool things in school with the teacher, etc. I was picked on because when things would go wrong, I would tell someone, I would tell. Some of you might read this and say, you asked for it by acting like that. Well, I wasn't told what I was doing was wrong. I did it because you all didn't have my parents to deal with when I got home. I had the strictest parents on the block. Even at my parents' funeral, stories arose about that. But nevertheless, I still made it. Even though I have been a bad boy a couple of times, I was grown and in my 30s before it happened. Some of the people that bullied me made it through life and actually apologized to me as we got older. Some didn't and just moved on. My condolences and sympathy goes out to those who have to put up with this on a regular basis. One thing I would say is pray that this doesn't happen to you or your child, and pray that it doesn't take a death to make a problem get noticed. Well, wow.
But you know what? Also, I think that, and listen to that statement. The last part, I think, is where the problem kind of starts. Everybody worries about what happens to their child. It's no longer a group thing of children. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants their kid to be the better one, the smarter one. Because think about it. If your child is a bully, it makes you feel better. At least you know ain't nobody bullying your child. When do we stop that?
Interesting point. Okay, hold on. Stay right there. I'm going to keep you up. I'm bringing this other caller because I think I'm going to get this dialogue these last few minutes. 423-635. Come on in and say hey with me and Hodge over here. Hello, caller.
Hello,
You're
what's up,
Big Red? Hey, what's up?
How you doing? You know,
I'm good.
Say what?
I said, go ahead.
As a part what you just said. And you know, I was actually like this. I was in school when I was in grade school. I got bullied all the time by the quote unquote cool kids, by the bad kids, you know. And even sometimes from and once I got to high school, though, I made a conscious decision that I was going to be a slightly different person. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should walk to the beat of the same drum. No, not at all. But I think that sometimes we distance ourselves from the rest of the crowd. And sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing. Sometimes these kids that are getting bullied, and I'm not trying to blame the victim, but sometimes these kids that are getting bullied have alienated themselves from everybody else. And to be honest, I blame parents. Because as your child is growing and developing, it's your job and your responsibility to teach them social skills, to get them, you know, ready to deal with the world at large. Because it's fine to be as individual as you want to be, but we still all got to live on this planet together. And
right.
there are some kids that they have not been taught social skills. They, you know, they don't feel understood. But this, just like discipline, this starts at home. Because, yes, you're going to feel, if your parents don't understand you, then what chance is it going to be that somebody outside your home is going to understand you?
Mm-hmm.
So, just think, I blame the parents for that. And that's all I have.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay then. Thank you for calling in, Red. All right, so we got that on the table. He said he blames the parents because they're not doing their jobs of sitting up, teaching the kids their whole self-esteem and social skills and this, that, and the other. Hodge?
Oh, I believe that's definitely what I believe. Not to mention, a lot of parents don't set boundaries with their children, which was weird. It is weird how generations work. Okay, the generation before our parents, our parents' generation, they were trying to break boundaries. Then we grew up in a generation where the next generation wanted us to set boundaries. Now, this new generation, they actually want discipline. They just act out till somebody puts them in check. And when nobody puts them in check, guess what? They keep acting out.
They keep acting out until they get it. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Look at the material that we got that our kids get into. Like, for example, even with that even just raised off the little 7-year-old. Material about pimps and enslavement is almost trendy now.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, for example, Iceberg Slim's book was a popular read. I'm like, how's a book about a pimp a popular read? All your videos, somebody talking about pimping, are some little young, are these like little young girls? They going out looking for dudes to pimp them, and they even tattoo it on their bodies.
Right. Okay.
And these ain't no old. I'm talking about these ain't no old women. These are the little young 14 and 15-year-olds.
Right. No, but see, now here's the difference. When I read those books, and my mother allowed, see, that was another thing. I had to get permission to read those books because it was Iceberg Slims and Donald Goins.
Mm-hmm.
His entire series.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you one question before we go into that. Whatever happened to reading regular books like The Catcher in the Rye or The Killer Mockingbird? Are those books like just too boring now?
Well, I don't know because, I don't even know if they're still on the required reading list because those kind of books we read as English literature. Yeah, of course, I did the play. But those books were considered, that was schoolwork. And see, at that time when I used to read very heavily. So, I separated what was school from reading recreationally. And when I was at home, I had to get permission to read those books because of the language. And my mother never shielded me from the streets, And I was one who never saw that kind of life as glamorous anyway. And she wanted me to read it because it was very real. It was a lot of stuff in there she had experienced growing up on the streets because that was a true story. Donna Goins was from Detroit. And, some of the folks in my family used to roll with him. So a lot of that stuff my mother saw. So it was a true-to-life kind of thing. And I was able to read it, and I had to discuss it. Plus, we did book reports. My mother, I had to do book reports when I was younger. So that we understand the book. So it was a whole different thing for me. But now, as far as this bullying and carrying on, the culture now has become where going to jail is a rite of passage now. You're not hard or whatever unless you done did some time. You're not a man if you're not pimping and hoeing and balling and bossing and this, that, and the other. So it's become this glamorized thing again, like it was in the early 70s when drugs first hit and everybody was pimping, trying to be businessmen or whatever. Well, we've gone back to that, but it has now personified itself to where it's new and improved, and it's so far out of control, it's ridiculous because at one point in time that used to be it wasn't the norm, and it was just for certain people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you got into it, you got into it because you knew that's what. Now it's become a way of life to where it is now. If you're not a part of it, then you're the outcast.
Right.
And this,
you
that,
know,
and the other.
it used to be a counterbalance. And you can be a counterbalance for that.
Yeah.
But now, if you ain't got, for example, let's say like on the radio station, you got where if you don't pay that DJ $5,000-$10,000, he ain't gonna play your music. So think about it. Who got to spend $5,000-$10,000? The most ignorant rapper.
Exactly.
So now he can play his song, and when you play his song, everybody thinks that's the norm now.
Exactly. Hold on
so
for a second.
People all the time when they talk about these like the lyrics in the song, oh yeah, that's real life. I asked them, did your mama sell dope to raise you?
Okay.
Some of these rappers I know, and I know they ain't sold no drugs.
Right.
And to me, it always people, if jail is so trendy,
press pause for
why
just
do
a
those
second.
fellas be crying to go when they have to go?
Exactly. Hold on for a minute, because we're down to the last 48 seconds of the show. Those of you who are listening by computer, I'm going to stop streaming in just a few moments. If you're listening by phone, you should still be able to hear me until I end the show. I see I got another call that just came back in. I'm going to take this call, and then we're going to start to wrap up. And, yeah. So with that, thank you guys for coming out and supporting the show. This is a hot topic, baby, and I want to make sure that it stays on it until we end up implementing solutions, okay? All right, now with that said, let me go back here. 423, you got your hand back up. I'm coming right back to you. Red?
Yep.
Red, you had something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I do. I was listening to what you were saying about basically in the old days, or back in the day, or however you want to call it. But the thing about it is that the prevalence that we see now of this pimping and hoeing culture and, you know, and saying that it's personified by rap and, you know, and like this is all brand new, it isn't. The only difference between now and then is that now we have this, you know, global form of communication known as the internet. Now we have 24-hour feeds all over the world. Anything you want to see, anything you want to know, it's all out there. When you know, when I was growing up, you know, the drugs were still out there. They were a little different. I mean, because like in the early 70s, if you bought heroin, it was only 3% pure. Today you buy heroin and it is 70% pure. So they made it more addictive, but that, just like any other thing out on the market, they're constantly changing it and, you know, seeing what they can do to attract more people to you know, doing it again. And with the advent of the civil rights movement and us moving forward, there were a lot of things that, you know, back in the day, we were afraid to do. You know, or if we did them, we did them in our own little corner of the world. We didn't go across the tracks to the white man's world. You know, and so, but now we can go anywhere and we can do anything and we can sell, you know, it's only because we have become more global and it happens so quickly. You know, it changed the world that we did not realize exactly what was happening and what we were getting into. You know, from the day of, you know, when AOL first came out, and I was one of the first people that had an AOL account. That is so different from what the internet is today, and it happened in the blink of an eye.
Correct.
So you know, a lot, and especially in black households, you know, first thing was we wanted our child to have a computer because the Joneses and the Smiths and the Whites had a computer.
Right.
And we didn't know what they were reading. You know, we didn't know that porn was popping up on the computer screen every 5 seconds.
Right.
You know, we didn't know anything about parental control and, you know, let's put the computer in a common area so that when I walk by, I can see what little Jimmy or Michael is looking at on the computer screen. And I think that this had a lot to do with the undevelopment or underdevelopment of our children and their reading, their math, because what has also happened is a lot of people thought, I bought my kid a computer, oh, they're on the computer all the time, they're so smart, they know how to do this, they know how to do that, and we thought that meant they were really smart. When
Right.
every other day, the internet became easier, more user-friendly, you know, and it wasn't that the kid was smart. You know, I know some 4 or 5-year-olds that know how to get on the computer and click the mouse. It's just
right.
It's a part of our evolution, or in some cases, our de-evolution. So,
okay, I like that, a de-evolution.
What I want to know is where are we going wrong? Because, like, okay, for example, with our music, parent advisory in the rating system, all that's just recent. Because if you remember, if it wasn't for the court going after Two Live Crew, we would have never had a rating system.
True.
For music.
Right. But
you know, and not to mention, for example, even like on computer, you got, even it's even programmed in the computer where you can age check stuff. And I mean, parents do it. It's weird. It's like, are we dumbing our kids down? Are we dumbing them? Are we moving forward? Like, for example, I look at cartoons now versus cartoons like back in the day.
We're definitely dumbing them down. Because what's happening, like, yes, there are parental controls out there now, and yes, you have some parents that understand the parental controls, but a lot of parents don't. A lot of parents, you know, they don't know how to set the parental control on the cable TV. They don't know that when their kid is up late at night watching Adult Swim on Cartoon Network or whatever, they're watching things like Super Jail, which it looks, Super Jail, the cartoon itself, looks like a psychedelic LSD trip.
Want to repeat that part?
Okay.
What was the name of the show?
We have got to take back what we know, and we have to start, first of all, right at home. Stop the one thing that has constantly, you know, messed us up as a society, as a culture, is that we are so worried about having what the white man has. We're so worried about that. We're so involved in, we got to do this. We got to get our kids that. We have to, you know, little Sally down the street got one. My son got to have one. Little Jimmy down the street got one. So little DeQuan got to have one. You know, and until we start sitting down with our children at the dinner table, after school, and I know it's hard. I know a lot of parents, especially in this economy, are working 2, 3 jobs. I know it's hard to sit down with your kids. I know it's hard to come home and then have to try and think about, you know, the math problem you learned 30, 40 years ago in school. I understand that. But if we don't, And we cannot leave it up to the teachers. I have been, in Detroit especially, I have been to some of the schools in Detroit, and I swear the teachers spoke more broken English, more Ebonics than any kid in the class. I have met some of the most, and I'm sorry because I really have a great respect for teachers, but I have met some of the most ignorant teachers in my life in the last 10 or 15 years.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I remember when they used to argue when I was in school. I think this was like in the 90s. They used to argue about Ebonics being an actual language, and everybody would say, no, it's not a language. And everybody was like, yeah, that's a language. You got to accept it. You got to accept it. Now we've accepted it, and it's like we're in a worse predicament now than we've ever been. Because the same argument that we had in the 90s has changed a few traits. It's changed the life. For example, you can't talk about it in a job interview.
Nope.
When you call customers, when your telephone, I mean, let's say if you have a problem with your credit card or your telephone service, something, you got to call customer service. Do you want to talk to the person that's speaking Ebonics about your problems?
Heck no.
Well, folks, you need to carry over your interest rate, folks. You know what I'm saying, son? And then that right there just be this and that.
Here's the issue: is that Ebonics, even if we decided, let's just make it a given. Ebonics is a language. Okay, that's fine. But just like you can't, if you're Mexican and you get a job, you got to speak English. You may have an accent, but you got to speak English. If you're, if you speak German, you got to speak English if you want to get this job, at this time. What we're not teaching our kids is that, okay, Ebonics is fine. If you want to say that's a language, that's indigenous to our people, and we came up with it, that's fine. But you have to learn there's a win, there's a where.
Now, you know what's funny when we say that? We say, okay, we came up with that. Well, let me ask you a question. If that's the case, then why don't we learn African? If we're going to learn something we came up with, why are we learning the Bible? Because Africans came up with the Bible.
Right, but then, you got this whole thing where Africans can't stand African Americans. Now, when we're taking aid over there,
there's a lot of people can't stand African Americans, but there's a lot of people can't stand Americans, but we still do what we got to do. We still get what we want to get, don't we?
I agree.
Here's the thing. And as we see, this here becomes so multifaceted because of its complexities. As we just went through this about bullying, we have just broken this down to so many different subcompartments to where we see we have a lot of work to do. So I think a lot of folks are looking for one particular answer, but I think this is going to be another one of those cases, as life always is, to where we're going to need more than one answer to solve the problem, because not everything fits in one box. So
I'll tell you this.
You know what? Oh, go ahead, Red. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's it. Here's one answer. One answer is that these welfare mothers, these baby-making factories, need to stop. You have, hey, I have nothing against procreation, but come on in. If you have one child and you know that you're on welfare, why are you going to go and have 2, 3, 4, 5 other children? That doesn't make sense.
But here's the crazy part about that is that now it's a trend. Because look at Hollywood. You got so many baby mamas now. Halle Berry a baby mama. Because I remember back in the day, actresses used to carry themselves in a certain grace and elegance. Now they baby mamas.
Wow, that's
for example,
profound.
Look at Britney Spears. Britney Spears, a baby mama. And she an ignorant baby mama. That's what get me. Got a boyfriend that he's seeing other women and he ain't got no money, so she got to take care of him.
Wow, that is a profound statement, Hodge.
Yeah, so it's like because we want television to educate our children, but then television is a bigger fool than we are now. Look at what's the show, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Them girls weren't even married, and one of them was a mistress. If anything, that show should have been a whole. And then what gets me is that it's a whole hour of them just yelling at each other. So now you got women that it used to be a time where women's kindness would make them dignified. Now it's like I'm gonna see who's gonna be the bigger fool from 0 to 60. So now they're yelling and then they want to get into a fight. And I'm like, it used to be a time where women could win an argument. Now it's just they just yelling at each other. And then they get to fight. And then and what's so sad about it, that's what makes the highlight show. That's what's going to show all week and all month. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to
Exactly.
It used to be a time where there was shame. You wouldn't want nobody to catch you. You wouldn't want nobody to catch you acting up like that.
Right. Please, I still don't. I don't like it. I don't like when folks to see me get like that. I can't stand it. I really don't. Now, if I have to, I will. But I would prefer not to because,
And everybody into this, I got to do me thing. Like, for example, what's Juanita Bynum? She was a relationship counselor.
Yeah.
But then she was cheating with a married man. I'm like, but everybody knows the story. And I'm like, and there's like no like kind of shame thing. There's no, okay, yeah, I did wrong. It's just simply, well, I got to do me.
Wow. Well, here on that's because I'm hearing, so definitely this is going to be a part 2 to this because I think we just uncovered a lot of roots, uncovered a tree trunk full of roots, honey. That is a profound statement, honey. Halle Berry and Britney Spears are they're not even mother, they're baby mamas.
It's not even role model. You spend time with the actresses, one of the role models. Remember when what's the basketball player Charles Barkley said he wasn't a role model? People got upset.
Yeah.
And he was being that to me. That was respectable. He said he doesn't do anything to be a role model. But now you got folks that are role models, and they got baby mamas and trifling baby daddies. What's that teaching the kids? Matter of fact, what's the one Russell Simmons' wife? When you look at her show, they put down in the bottom, email, check out the site and email her, and she'll give you babying tips. I'm like, that ain't no mom. She's got a nanny. How's she gonna teach you how to raise kids? And she only raise her own kids. For example, we'll have to go back to our books. Number 1 book, Superhead had a book. Society wants to know.
Okay, don't you start me with that, man. Ugh.
Right. And what's so funny about it is that everybody wants to read this book. Now she got another book out, how to please your man by being a hooker. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Right.
What is the shame there? Because I remember it used to be a time where folks were doing that just like they do everything crazy like they were doing back then, like they're doing now. But you could never hold them to them.
Right.
Like they used to say back in the day, everybody got it. Like they say, everybody had a gay uncle. Everybody had a gay uncle. But now it's like there's no cap on nothing now. Nobody denies anything. I was like for example, I'm in the club, this is a young girl, like, oh my God. When you like with me doing security at clubs, you get to see how people really act. And they talk about selling their body. I remember back in the day when folks, when you were that young, like 16, 17, you had a job. I remember we used to stay, me, my friend Josh, and my homeboy Poochie, we had a work pack. We would always look for jobs. Even now, I can call Josh, and Josh will hook me up with a job if I need it.
Wow.
And we would stay on each other about working. Now, these young folks, they either want, like I said before, they either want to strip or they want to be a trap boy. And if they can't do neither, then they want to become an entourage.
Okay. Well, you know, on that note,
that's why I'm so much into this. We need self-awareness.
Wow.
So these kids can find a sense of self.
Wow. That is profound. I'm going to close, and I'm going to say thank y'all. Thank y'all. That just hit me. And, yeah. So I'm going to sit down here. I'm going to ponder on that because this is going to have to be a part 2. And I want to make sure that I bring a couple of folk on here who are experts in this particular field. So I'll pull out a call, and hopefully they'll come. So we can explore this topic a bit further, because I just like where that went, you know, as far as uncovering some of the roots of all of this and seeing us as a people, how we have allowed the system to take effect. So on that, let me thank everybody for tuning in. And I'm so grateful for you for tuning in and staying with me. Join us next week as, for those of you who are fans of Noah's Ark, I got Rodney Chester. He's best known as Alex, honey, the one that was married to the big old fine light-skinned guy, the fireman. Alex is going to be on with us next week, as well as you may know him from Menace to Society. Yeah, that old movie from back in the day. He played the crackhead in there. He's also known, he was just in the movie The Flock with Richard Gere. Mr. Dwayne Barnes is going to be on next week as well, sharing with us his new documentary, Stranded in the Motor City, as he's coming here to Atlanta to showcase it here at the Atlanta Film Festival. So those two people will be with us next week, so I encourage you to come on out. Tell a friend if you love me. Tell an enemy if you hated me or couldn't stand me. But one thing will go, and one thing is for certain, that this show will move forward. So in that, I thank you all for joining me, and I'm going to close out again with Stephanie Mills' Yesterday, because that's just too powerful.